Fast cars, fast service. Visit lebhobbies.com.
Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's edition, yet again, of Slot Car News. I'm upstairs because I want to get this news right from Slot Car Corner, because we have a pretty interesting product that they're making now, SCC AK001, which is Carrera GT3 Modern Sports Car Rear Axle Kit. So what this does is it replaces the entire rear assembly, except for the tires, on any 132 Carrera and modern sports car. The idea is that it gives you very large diameter wheels that might be larger than normal, because they need to fill out the wheel wells. So kits with a smaller 17 millimeter wheel can't do this. They have a 18.5 millimeter diameter by 19.4 millimeter wheel. So it's a big honker. So this this assembly would be a good one to replace on the NASCAR, the modern next-gen ZL1 Camaro NASCAR that Carrera had done. The kit consists of two wheels, two wheel inserts that go inside those wheels, which is important because obviously those are quite large diameter wheels and you need the right size wheel insert. 54 millimeter solid axle, Slot Car Corner bronze bushings. It comes with a slotted 27 tooth crown gear with a brass hub. It comes with a slotted 9 tooth pinion and 3 M2 by 3 millimeter set screws. So you can put all this together now. This is a kit that they've been working on for a while now, and it really gives you a very specific kit for very specific applications. I think this is definitely needed because, there are a lot of cars out there with quite large wheels, slot cars out there with quite large wheels, and we haven't really had anything quite like this before. I'm happy to see this wheel, or this kit rather, and there we go. That's the start of the news. Now we get to the other news that I don't necessarily have to read, but, here we go. Anyway, Area 71 are showing a couple interesting side-by-sides of the 904 in 132 and 124, as well as the Lamborghini Countach in 132 and 124 as well. They are kind of, highlighting their work on these cars, and while the 132 cars might not be new, we get to see the scale between 132 and 124 with these cars put together, and I think this is really pretty appealing. I really like that. Speaking of appealing, the 312T Ferrari F1 that Clay Regazzoni and Niki Lauda drove, that's a newer kit for them, and they're also showing that on Facebook. Good job, guys, making something pretty different that, maybe hadn't been available before. Certainly with this amount of personalization, let's say, because of the fact that it's a kit. Speaking of something that hadn't been available before, recently, let's say, and in 1/18th scale, BRM are doing sidecars, which is a pretty cool thing. I do expect these will get a lot of fans because they're kind of a distinct series unto themselves. So, if a club takes up the idea of racing these, you get some pretty interesting possibilities here. They're starting out with a white kit, as well as two liveries, Lucky Strike and Rothmans. And yeah, these are pretty interesting, compelling new slot bikes. Yes, slot bikes. There you go. NSR is showing several new entries, I guess 3 total different bodies in their Reparto Corsa series. They have the Leighton House F1s, which will be available in a plastic track and wood track, two different versions. And those are coming, let's just say soon, because they don't come until they're here. Also, the Martini 9083 will be available in two different versions, again, wood track and plastic track configurations, as well as the modern Formula One cars, the 22, 26, number 44, a personal favorite of mine, Lewis Hamilton, and number 63. There you go, folks. Interesting that NSR are doing kind of what they suggest for factory setups directly out of the box. They started doing this years ago with their tribute cars, which I believe they had done some out of the box configuration for racing on, and it was pretty interesting to see those how those were accepted. I think it's a pretty good idea that they do this, and it's obviously it's going to be a smaller percentage of the market that would want a car that's pre-set up and therefore kind of a little more money. But I definitely think it's an interesting idea, and I'm glad to see them making something different, especially with the chassis configurations right out of the box for folks that might be newer to the hobby or just want those NSR secrets. Slot It have two new cars that they're showing on their Facebook page or on their social media. Yes, on their on both, on all. Anyway, they're there. A Jaguar XJ, and I dropped my paper for effect, XJR11, and their Toyota GR010. Definitely the Jaguars, not particularly a favorite of mine. I do tend to stick toward the Toyotas from those Group 5 series, Group C, Group C series of cars. But nice to see another Jaguar. I'm sure it will have its fans. The Toyota, definitely an interesting car to see coming. I'm very happy to see them releasing more modern LMP style cars. There we go, folks. That's it for the news for this week. Stay tuned, and I will have a topic about something coming up right after this. Alrighty, guys, so we've obviously had a pretty difficult time the last couple days here in the U.S., and I'm not going to talk about political things. That's not ever my point here. My point is this is an escape from that kind of thing. But I do want to talk about, kind of giving each other a little slack. I've talked about this a number of times before, but slot racers come in all shapes, sizes, and persuasions of thought, let's say. And I definitely think that it's worth reminding everybody that we do have something in common that is more substantive, more personal than outside political forces could ever be, with our relationships to each other. I definitely think it is worth remembering that, and not looking for arguments. Arguments, frankly, never make either party feel good. If you're feeling angry or you're feeling upset about something, taking it out on somebody that you might know because of the slot car hobby, probably not a great idea in general. Getting offline, touching grass, as folks say, might be great to do at this moment. Touching a controller, I would offer. Touching some screwdrivers and Allen wrenches to do some tuning on slot cars, I would suggest would be a great thing to do at this time. Watching videos on YouTube, watching Home Racing World Harry Wise's videos here on YouTube, I think is a great thing to do. Watching Marty Ford, watching BS slot cars, watching the slot car dudes and folks in Australia, I think are worth doing. All this, that, and all of the above. We really need to remember, as I've said many, many times, and forgive me, I like to get on the soapbox about this because, we all struggle with anger issues. I among them. I have passionate political views, none of which I share with anyone outside of my family because I don't think it really matters, quite frankly, because you will not change somebody's point of view, least of all at this moment when, let's be honest, everyone is upset, scared. We had, back-to-back things with the assassination and with 9/11 yesterday. Those different events ring more personally, maybe for some folks than others. I have a connection to 9/11, being from New York City and having friends that covered it, and having family that witnessed the events and who were my brothers, saw it, and were never the same from a very young age. And it's been a horrible thing for everybody to try to live through, a couple days of really awful external events. So touch grass, touch a controller, take a breath, get off of Facebook, get off of Twitter. Stay here on YouTube, though, of course. And, like I said, there's a lot of good content out there from well-meaning people who absolutely would love to have you give them a few views and, make some positive comments, some positive, constructive comments on their videos. And, show each other that, there's a lot that binds us together as a society of slot car racers. I have gone on, and if you think that something like this shouldn't be said on a slot car video, well, you're just frankly wrong. On that note, thank you again, folks, for showing up. Thank you very much for the likes and the comments. Thank you to those folks that share. It's definitely great to do these videos, and I really appreciate the views, frankly. See y'all later, folks. I appreciate it.